I would now like to once again thank our solution providers. Welcome and thank Scott Francis from Ricoh, who's joining us here today, who will be discussing, can image enhancement help you improve process speed and accuracy?
Sasha, thank you for the introduction. And Dan, thank you for setting the table. So, Dan talked really about the sudden transformation of technology and how large language model databases and generative AI is changing everything right now. In my presentation, I really want to talk about how we can realize this opportunity. And before I jump into it, I'm with Ricoh. I had formerly been with Fujitsu for over 25 years. For those of you who are using Fujitsu scanners or now our Ricoh branded units, I just wanted to start with a real quick slide to let everyone know that the entire Fujitsu scanner family has joined Ricoh. And as we've done that, we've updated the brand on our document scanners from Fujitsu to Ricoh. It's the same technology that you know and love. If you haven't checked in with us lately, we have some great new models that will really help you with your paper to digital transformation. Today, I'm going to focus on image enhancement and why it's important to have accurate generative AI. Dan talked about hallucinations. Well, having great image quality lends to better recognition, and better recognition lends to better generative AI. And that is the point. So on this topic, it really does have the potential to make society and business better. I love that joke about how I want generative AI to do my laundry, do my dishes, so I can focus on writing art, making art, doing poems. And yes, that's correct. The robots are coming, but they're not here yet. So we're still going to have to do our dishes and fold our laundry. But this technology can make us more productive, so we have more time to focus on art and work that matters. And that's what it's all about. And yes, as this technology is coming fast, boundaries and safeguards must be put in place. I would really give guidance to all of our AIM members that you need to use experienced organizations that can guide you through this process. We can't just jump in and turn it on all at once. We need to make sure that we're putting those boundaries and safeguards in place. We need to make sure that things like personal identified information is protected. That's very important as well. And as Dan mentioned on that last example, regardless of the level of automation, human expertise and management will always be required. If we have that mindset going into this, we can really realize great things. So this is a slide I used back in 2023, back in the year 2023, when I was talking about the promise of what large language model databases and generative AI would provide. And the basic point is when you purge paper records that you haven't digitized, or you're purging digital records that you haven't anonymized, that data is lost forever. The simple point is that generative AI is better. It's more accurate. It's more complete with more information added. Your organization has paper records. You have unstructured data. This is key information that's going to make your business better. It's going to help you improve your products and services. It's going to help you respond to customers faster, more accurately, with outcomes that are more successful with those customers. So my message here is don't purge your paper. Don't purge your records. There are responsible ways to process that information so it can be used in these large language model databases. So this is just an evolution of document classification. Many people on today's webcast may have been processing their documents for decades, back in the days when we used to just name the file, or maybe we did manual indexing. And then the days of zonal OCR came in the 1990s, and then eventually searchable PDFs. And then we had intelligent document recognition, but that is where we had to train the engines to identify that invoice that Dan was talking about. Well, now, if we look at 6 and 7, this is where we're at. The latest technology can just look at a document, figure out what it is, and figure out what that metadata is. And that is the latest technology today is capable to do that. And of course, the example that Dan gave about using Chat GPT to actually read that invoice, it's real, it's here, and it's now. But there's another horizon out there, which is where we're not just looking to understand the characteristics of a document or summarize something. We can use generative AI moving forward to actually data mine whole libraries of documents. So instead of doing customer research, generative AI can do it for us, or at least the foundational research that allows us to use that human know-how to dig into that information deeper. And that is just one of the promises of LLMs and generative AI. But again, in order for us to realize that, we need to scan all of those paper records, all of that unstructured information, and include that in the database. It's all about data democratization, and that's getting data to everyone in the organization. And this is where we can, all the workers in the organization, in the agency, can benefit from that information. When we have more information, we simply make better decisions. We can make them faster, and those decisions will have better outcomes. Our business processes are faster, they're more complete, they're less error prone. And that's one of the fundamental points about improving customer service and the ability to increase capacity, allowing your business, allowing your agency to serve more customers without increasing staff, without expanding to new physical locations. That's what it's all about. And in the end of the day, when we can do all of these things, we can focus on work that matters. So yes, we're not doing dishes, we're not folding laundry, but we're having more time and more information to do work that matters. And that's what it's all about. And these points are understood. Your paper-based assets have significant value to your organization. It's not just records management, it's about using data in the organization. So for all of you record managers out there, data custodians, data stewards, it's really an opportunity for you specifically to transform your organization's focus to really responsibly harness the power that LLMs and generative AI provide. It allows you personally to grow your role to be an information enabler, a chief information officer. And it allows you and customers and employees to be in control of their own data. Early adopters, well, the time is now. You're going to have a significant advantage over your competition if you can implement this technology now. But let's remember, security and ethical walls are extremely important, but there are tools to implement them. Right? So anonymization and redaction, we can use AI for this purpose. It's not about purging your records because they've met their retention schedule. It is about purging them of the information that could cause business risk, but still saving the essential information that's going to allow your company to be more accurate and more data rich. It's about those ethical walls to make sure that information within human resources stays within human resources. It's about data bias. It's about looking at that information before it's sent. It's about having as much information in the large language model database to increase the accuracy. And it's all about security and where you're storing and processing this information. The number one objection that I hear from customers about this technology is, I don't want to put my information on the web. And that's completely understood. Businesses need security. They need privacy. Today's generative AI vendors, if we look at Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and others, they all have the ability to put their technology in containers, a container inside your private cloud, inside your private network. So there are solutions that will allow you to keep your data secure and not attached to the open web, but still benefit from this technology. So again, it's about choosing the right vendor to help you guide through this process. But there are answers. If you want to keep things on premise or in a private cloud, you can do that and you can still benefit. So when it comes to scanning, it's all about using the right tool for the right job. I am available for spirited discussions on why you should scan all your paper documents, the cost savings, the productivity, the advantages of doing that. But once you get to that point where you realize that scanning all of your paper assets is a good thing, you need to choose the right tool for the right job. There's a lot of different ways to scan documents. When we look at that journey from paper to digital, it's really the steps here from digitization to recognizing the documents to classifying them based on the information we've recognized and storing them. Well, there's three gotchas in this process. Paper prep, it's very labor intensive. The scanning process, if you're not using the right equipment, if you're not using the right tool for the right job, scanning is going to take a long time. It's going to be error prone. It's going to be expensive. And if you're not scanning your documents the right way with the right image enhancement, you're not going to be able to recognize the content, and all of these automated processes are going to fail. I saw a chat and comments about doing invoice processing. It's critical that you have the right image quality in order for invoice recognition to work. If you're processing an electronic invoice, the process is very straightforward. If you're processing a scanned image, it's got to have the right image quality, and that's the focus for today's demonstration. Here at Ricoh, we focus on these three areas to produce great images with easy-to-use products that give great images that have high accuracy. That's what we're all about. This is the fundamental problem we solve. This is our FI8170. It's small. It's right in arm's reach. So you can see, you can start the scanning process. It's very fast. It's very easy to use. I just pressed a button to get started. All the image processing is all automated, so you don't have to be a scanning expert. As I go through these images, you'll see that all of them have the right size, even though the images were different sizes. They have the right orientation. I've scanned them all in duplex, but all those blank pages are taken care of. This is the right tool for the right job. Scan those documents as soon as they come into the organization. If your customers are bringing paper in, maybe they're supporting documents, maybe they're forms, you can quickly scan them and hand the originals right back to the customer. There are no trust issues with what's happening to their confidential information. Our scanner can scan things like passports, driver's licenses, insurance cards. So one scanner fits all of those different media types quickly and accurately and give them back to the customer. Or if you've got a lot of documents, our new FI8950, this is a 150 page per minute scanner. So I'm not going to get into specs, but really what I want to say here, it's about the right tool for the right job. If you've got a 3-acre backyard, you're not going to use a push lawnmower. You're going to use a tractor lawnmower to mow that lawn quickly and save you time. Well, this is the proverbial tractor lawnmower for your backlog of documents, especially if you're going from paper to digital and you've got those archives of boxes. This is the right product to scan those tens of thousands of documents a day or more, so you can quickly digitize them. We all know that the most expensive component of scanning is labor. This product is designed to reduce that labor expense, but give great image quality. And that's what it's all about. If you don't have the right image quality, we're not going to have the right accuracy. So this is the critical process here. So you can see on the left, These documents have very difficult backgrounds. We're able to remove that background information to allow recognition to happen. On the competitive examples, if there's information covering those documents, we're not going to be able to recognize the information under it. So that's what it's all about. Now, this is demo day. So let's actually jump into this and let's do a real live scanning example. So I'm going to go into our PaperStream Capture Pro software, and we're going to start and we're going to scan some documents. Now I'm going to scan them in color because I want you to see what we're dealing with in terms of the image quality. So I'm using our 8170. I'm going to quickly scan those documents. And as you can see, I've already got our auto size detection already enabled on the scanner. So you can see that every different document, different sizes, different shapes are all scanned. And I've got auto orientation, auto size detection. Now, when we go through these documents, these are very extreme samples. Look at this image quality. These are difficult documents to scan. They've got stamps, they've got different colored backgrounds. This one has a variation in colors. Let me see if I can bring that and minimize it. You can see here by the John Doe, it's got a color variation, very difficult for image enhancement. So again, I'm going to go down the line. And you can see that these documents are all very difficult. All right, so now we're going to scan them in monochrome using our advanced thresholding. So I'm going to go back to the scanner. I'm going to scan these same documents in black and white. All right, so here are those same documents. So you can see that with our advanced thresholder, with one setting, I'm able to actually remove all of that troubled background information so we can get to the real data. This is what increases our recognition accuracy. So again, down the line, you can see that it did a great job. And this was a very difficult document, if you remember, and it still was able to remove all of that background noise on those documents. So this is the power of image enhancement. You've got to have the right camera technology and the right image enhancement technology, and they work together. And that's what our products provide. So I'm going to complete this batch, and I'm going to go to another example of some really hard to scan documents. So some of the ones that you saw and some additional ones, we'll do the same process as before. We're going to scan them in color first, and then we're going to go and I'm going to show you our post-scan feature called after scan correction. All right, so again, very difficult documents that we're scanning in color. Here's another one, health care provider document with a lot of colored background. We've got stamps. Again, here's the one that we did a good job with, but we still had some artifacts. Look at this one. This is really bad. And again, this is an extreme document to show you the power of our after scan correction, which we're going to go through next. But again, you can see all those documents scanned in color. I'm going to complete this batch. Now we're going to transition to after scan correction. The power of this tool is using our PaperStream Capture Pro software. In the event that you've got a very hard to scan document, you don't have to rescan it. So I'm going to scan those documents I just did, and I'm going to complete the batch. That allows the scanner operator to go back to the next customer, or if it's a production scanning operation, it allows that scanner to keep scanning documents. And then using our PaperStream Capture Pro software, a different person that could be at a different location is going to go into that batch and go into the QC mode here. So as we go into QC, here are the documents I just scanned. Yeah, let's start with this one. So we still have those stamps, no problem. I don't have to go back to the scanner to scan them because I can use after scan correction to process it after the fact. PaperStream Capture Pro with our assisted scan feature allows me to choose a thumbnail that has the best image quality. And look at that. So I'm going from the image on the left to the image on the center. Once I do that, I can save a specific scanning profile just for this document. Let's say I'm scanning batches of this document and I want them optimized exactly as I see here on my screen. I can save a profile. I don't have to know about dynamic thresholding or noise removal or edge enhancement. I don't have to know any of that. I just have to visually pick a profile that I like. I can save the profile and I'm ready to go. Remember this document? This is that really extreme one. Let's go to our after scan correction and let's see what it can do as well. So here's a great document that just fixed it. Now let's say I kept going around and I got lost. No problem. I can actually go back and start right from the start and start that process over again. So there is a back button. There's a start from home button. That really makes the process easier. But again, I went from the document on the left to the document in the center. I'm ready to go. And because this can be done at a different location, those scan workers can keep scanning or they can keep serving customers. And that's what it's all about. And that is the power of PaperStream Capture Professional. Again, there's that warranty card. This time I removed all of that noise. I'm going to save that. And let's go back to that John Doe document. We'll replace that one as well. I think this is the right one. Maybe I want to enhance that John Doe. I could do that. Let's keep going until I find one that is the right image quality for me. And then I can save it. And I'm done. So again, easy to use, does not require sophisticated training, and we can offload this process to people away from the scan station, people in the same building or even remote locations. Then I can save those documents and I'm ready to go. PaperStream Capture Pro is all about the power of the profile. All of these profiles all have different scanning settings, image enhancement settings, file name settings, destination settings. Once they've been created, someone just has to go and presses a button, and that's what it's all about. So this is what we just saw. Here was that batch of documents in color. Here's that batch fully processed. And that's what that demo just did in real time. This is what it can do for your difficult documents. If your documents don't have these challenges, our image enhancement is going to bring out the complete fidelity of your documents. If you have difficult documents, we've got a solution for you as well. This is PaperStream Capture Pro, and you just saw it in action. Scanning, quality control, and indexing on different stations. And with that, I've got a couple more slides to go through, but I want to break, Sasha, to see if there are any questions.
Hi, Scott. Thank you. There seems to be a lot of great, interesting questions in this. I want to start off by asking, does it matter which scanner they're using, which scanner are you using today, or is it the software that's doing all the heavy lifting?
It really is about the combination of all three. So the scanner has to have the right optical image quality, the cameras themselves. And then you've got to have the right image quality enhancement to work with that. And your scanner also has to be able to capture the entire image. So I'll grab a document. If a document goes through and it's deskewed, some scanners are going to miss the corner data. Ricoh Document Scanners have sensors across the array to make sure that doesn't happen. Our newest models can actually deskew the document on the fly before it's scanned. So all of those factors all have to be in line. If you don't have great camera tech, if you don't have great image quality, you're going to have issues down the line.
Which scanner are you using today, Scott?
I'm using our FI8170, which was the first one that I showed off. We have a whole lineup of scanners though. So we've got the FI8170, The other scanner you see in this picture is our FI8950. It's brand new, but we have a whole suite of scanners depending on your hardware requirements. How big is the model? Does it have an integrated flatbed? Where do you want to install it? We've got a lot of different solutions to meet your individual requirements.
That's great. When people are setting up, um, are there individual profiles that need to be created? How much can they customize their scanning and image capture?
That's a great question. And the answer is all of the above. When you install our software, we give you some default profiles that use settings that are going to cover the widest variety of normal documents. But if you need to optimize those settings for specific documents or for specific workflows, you can clone or you can create new profiles. I think I probably had, go back here. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 14 profiles here, but you can see I've got room for a lot more. I can also launch those profiles right from the scanner's control panel. So a lot of versatility in what you can do for customization.
Does your image enhancement software work with other scanning capture applications?
And the answer there is yes. So I'm using PaperStream Capture Pro today, but our PaperStream IP Twain and ISIS drivers bring this image enhancement right to any scanning application with Twain or ISIS connectivity. Or if your application is importing images, we can do that as well. Square 9's coming up. We have a great integration to send images right over to Square 9. They can ingest them from a watch folder and bring them right into their software, or any application that can do that. So PaperStream Capture Pro has some really cool benefits like the after scan correction that I demonstrated, but our IP drivers work with any Twain or ISIS application. It leverages the scanner, the optics of the scanner, the hardware image processing we have on chips inside the scanner, and of course in software as well.
That's wonderful. And in terms of the programs, are there additional technologies that capture that handwritten elements and are able to read that data?
Yes, so ICR is what we used to call handwriting character recognition. I now see people using OCR to cover machine print and handwriting. I've even heard of HCR now. I think we need to standardize on just one. But yes, Microsoft Syntax, for instance, has some excellent HCR capabilities, and they're getting better. So the ability to read a doctor's prescription, the most impossible document there is, we're actually seeing technology do that, and it's getting better.
Yeah, maybe a standardization needs to happen here today. Um, for documents that may be damaged because of flooding or kind of any multitude of issues, and there's information bleeding through and kind of impacting its overall quality, how can this product help scan that to make a cleaner end product for people to have digital?
All right, a couple of things there. Those documents are probably fragile. So we're going to want to use one of our integrated flatbed scanning solution if those documents are fragile, for instance. We also have some technology that will bring the documents in through our straight through and reverse return feeder, which might be another solution. But for that, scanning them in color might become necessary to get the full fidelity of the document. Our PaperStream capture and our PaperStream IP drivers have what's called preview mode. You can scan it, and then you can try all of our different image enhancement features to actually see the effect. For documents with a lot of bleed through, I would recommend switching to our white background. So the FI8170 that I'm using today can actually switch the background from black to white. Black is typically better for document cropping, but for documents that have a lot of bleed through, using that white background is probably a better idea. What I would also recommend is scanning those documents in color, so we can process them in the future with emerging image enhancement technologies. So it's a great conversation. Feel free to get a hold of me directly and we can look at those documents. You can send me samples. I can even get a scanner on site and we can see what we can do with those hard to scan originals.
Yeah. Scott, I want to give you the opportunity to finish up your slides, and then if we have any final questions, we could wrap up all together.
Great. Thank you, Sasha. So just to wrap up real quick, for those of you who work for federal agencies, don't forget at the end of this month, OMB M2307 is finally in effect. We used to know this as M1921. I know John is on the line. We've had a lot of great conversations about this initiative. So the point here is if you are a federal agency, you need to comply, but there's a lot of value just from scanning all of your paper assets. So call us so we can help you. We have the widest variety of FADGI compliant scanners. All of our scanners here on this page are all 3-star certified. We have the widest variety of scanners, so you can choose the scanning model that makes sense for you. And we've made it easy. So we've got these turnkey FADGI kits that include the scanner that's 3-star compliant, on-site installation and training, and then service on-site moving forward. We're going to give you that golden thread test chart, very expensive, as well as the scanner calibration software. Will come on site multiple times throughout the year to actually clean and maintain that scanner, including consumable replacement. So that's all included. The only thing that you have to buy is the golden thread software from ISA. They just sell that separately, and this is the software you use if you're audited to prove that your scanner is FADGI compliant. So just want to make sure everyone knows that we've got solutions for FADGI compliance. If you don't have a plan to meet M2307, we can help you. We've got a whole team of solution experts that will actually come on site or do virtual calls and get you ready to meet these requirements. We've got a barcode here on the slide. You can go right to our FADGI page. You can sign up for an appointment, but this is what it's all about. We are here to help you with FADGI. And beyond compliance, there's a ton of value that our scanners can bring to your agency. With that, Sasha, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scott, and thank you, Ricoh, for being one of our wonderful solution providers today. I invite everyone to reach out to Scott and to his team to continue learning and finding solutions to the problems that you might have.